I just finished watching Marshal episode 6, and honestly we need to talk because this episode was absolutely packed with intense moments, emotional depth, and some really interesting character developments that could change everything moving forward. From the motorcycle gang operation to Belle going undercover, and even the growing tension around Casey, this episode didn't slow down for a second. Let's start with the operation itself because that whole setup with the motorcycle gang was wild. The danger felt real, the stakes were high, and right in the middle of it all, Belle completely surprised everyone. Her undercover look, the confidence, the way she blended into that world, it was honestly impressive. For a moment it felt like she was in complete control, like she had done this 100 times before. But then everything fell apart when someone recognized her from the casino, and that small detail suddenly made everything more complicated. Now this brings up a much bigger question. What exactly was Belle doing at that casino? We saw that scene earlier in the season, but it never really got explained, and now it feels way more important than we first thought. Even Cal seemed confused when it came up, which clearly tells us that whatever Belle was doing back then, it wasn't part of any official operation. So now it feels like the show is slowly building toward revealing something deeper about her past. And if you really paid attention to her behavior in this episode, especially that moment when she was removing her makeup, you could tell something was off. She didn't just look tired, she looked unhappy. Almost like being undercover gave her a sense of escape from her real life. And when Cal asked her what she would tell her husband, the way she avoided answering made it pretty clear that things are not going well at home. When you connect all these moments, it really feels like Belle might be hiding serious problems in her personal life, maybe even a possible divorce. At the same time, there's definitely something slowly building between Belle and Cal. It's not obvious yet, but you can feel it in their interactions. Cal especially seems like he's starting to develop feelings, and if Belle's marriage is actually falling apart, then this could easily turn into something more. And if that happens, it's going to add a whole new layer of drama to the story. Now shifting to Casey and Tate, their storyline brought a more emotional side to the episode. It's actually really nice to see how their relationship is growing. Tate feels more comfortable opening up, and Casey is clearly trying to be there for him no matter what. That moment with the ceremony really stood out because even though Casey kept saying he wouldn't make it, he still showed up in the end. That just shows how much he cares, and it's moments like that that make their bond feel real. But at the same time, we can't ignore the darker side of Casey's story. Yes, he helped rescue Haley and 10 other girls, and that was a big win. But there's still a major issue that hasn't been resolved. They mentioned that there were 43 girls in total, and only 10 have been saved, which means 33 are still missing. That's a huge number, and after seeing how terrified those girls were, it's hard not to think about what the others might still be going through. Those scenes were honestly difficult to watch, and they made it clear just how serious this situation is. So the big question now is, are they going to continue searching for the rest? Or is the show moving on too quickly? Looking ahead to episode 7 titled Family Business, it seems like the focus is shifting to a completely new case involving a federal judge and her family being targeted in a car bombing. But from what we've seen in the promo, this isn't just a one-time attack. It looks like a full-scale threat, with gunfire, chaos, and a clear indication that whoever is behind it isn't going to stop anytime soon. And once again, Casey seems to be right in the middle of it, possibly taking things into his own hands. That's where things start to get worrying because with every episode he's being given more power, and at the same time he's becoming more unpredictable. He's already crossed some serious lines, from blowing up the motorcycles to taking extreme actions without hesitation, and even Cal has pointed out that one day, this behavior could cost them their badges. It really feels like Casey is heading toward a breaking point. The pressure, the violence, and everything he's dealing with, it's starting to take a toll on him. And we can't forget about that mysterious bullet left at his door. That wasn't just a random threat. Someone is watching him, someone knows what he's doing, and that storyline is definitely going to come back in a big way. And before ending, there's still one more thing that hasn't been addressed, the blonde girl. She seemed like she was going to play an important role, especially with the way she was interacting with Casey and hinting at staying around, but now she's completely disappeared from the story. It's been 2 episodes and we still haven't seen her again, which makes it feel like the show is saving her for something bigger later on. Overall, episode 6 delivered a mix of action, emotion, and mystery, while also setting up some major storylines for the future. Belle's hidden past, Casey's dangerous path, the missing girls, and the new threats coming in episode 7. All of it is building towards something much bigger. And honestly, it feels like we're just getting started. So what do you guys think? Is Belle hiding something serious? Is Casey going too far? And will we ever get answers about the missing girls? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Next Flying for more updates.